Hi guys, it's Monica with Scrap Saturdays, and this is my completed project of the travel tales with Kathy from Paperphenomenon. So this is her idea, and I just did it my way. Instead of making it a travel suitcase, I turned it into a sewing case. And if you've ever gone to my blog, you've read about how I've posted up that my mom is a professional seamstress, and I'm going to be putting memories of her when we were growing up. My mom, she worked at home, she took care of us, and she had an industrial sewing machine, and she would work by piece. So every dress she made, she would make some money. And so she was kind of like a full-time worker, stay-at-home mom, and she's amazing. So this box is going to be very special to me because I'm now trying to learn how to sew a little bit more. I mean, I learned some when I was younger, but I'm getting into it a little bit more, so I'm purposely asking my mom to teach me some more things so that I know how to do it too. And I like it. It's fun. I have one of her really old, not industrial, but really old vintage sewing machines, and then I have a newer one that I got myself, and I'm starting slowly, and it's mostly for just little, fixer-uppers at home, but it is a little bit more for my paper crafts that I kind of wanted to start sewing with it too. And I also wanted to say thank you to Kathy from Paperphenomenon. It's kind of like, this is a tribute to my mom, but it's also a thank you to Kathy because her ideas are phenomenal. And her sharing, her kindness is beyond, but it's her personality. Her personality is so amazing. She's like the girlfriend you've had forever and a year. And Kathy, I think you're amazing, and thank you so much for all your time, work, and effort, and just everything that you do. But the fact that you're so happy when you're teaching us and you're showing us, even though we ask you 50 questions in a row, big hug to you. And I hope one day I get to meet you and I get to tell you in person, eye to eye, how much I think you're amazing. So this is my creation, and I turned it into a sewing box, as I told you. And for my hanging charms, I've got a thimble. This is a picture of a vintage sewing machine. It's got a little scissor at the top here. I folded some lace in half, and this is supposed to be part of the set of charms that I picked up a long time ago. I picked up this charm set, I think at Walmart maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I just kept it because I always thought I was going to make something in homage to my mom and her sewing, so it just came about that this is the perfect thing that I thought. So I stuck it down with some brads, and this is an H&M, obviously, a piece of clothing. I save all these weird tags in my drawers, and I got to use some of them today. This is just another one of those SCI pieces of chipboard that I have, and I will be putting a picture of my mom on the back. And then again, the dangly beads that I love. And then on the back side, I sew down this remove before washing or wearing tag, put down my little symbol, a little piece of that remnant zipper that I had left. And I wrote down that, what my website was, but that it's inspired by Kathy Orta at Paperphenomenon, and for sure you have to check her out and give her the kudos she deserves. I didn't have all the hardware pieces like most of you did, so I did glue down some of these unfunctional pieces, but I used some measuring tape as my trim, and this is a functional pocket, and I will be putting some pictures of my mom in there as well. So the ribbons hold it down. There's no fancy snap closure or anything like that. And on the inside is where I house the little mini. So first I'm going to try and show you the lid part. And this is where we're supposed to make that flap, and you add I think like a folder, passport type thing. Well, I actually put some thread from a little one of those, 99-cent kits. And this is the scissors that come from it. This is a crocheted flower from my mother-in-law. and then some paper flowers, a stick pin that I made, and then a fabric flower from the dollar store. And I will be putting a photograph back here, and there is space. I purposely left it that I only glued it around the bottom edge. And so that's my lid. And then this is the inside of my album, or the inside of my sewing case. And I used some of that elastic that kids have on their pants where it's adjustable, and I put this little vintage button there to hold it down in place. I had to cut the hole a little bit wider to fit that type of button, but that's what I did. I do have little hinges to help support the extra glue. The measuring tapes are decorative only. And then this is my mini album that slides out, and the bottom of my box is just matching like the top of it. And so this is my mini album, or the inside. I did not put chipboard covers on it. I actually left it just plain like it was. I loved it. I thought it was like a to-do project. I don't know, it worked for me. I did cut out the covers, but I didn't do them. So I sewed these tags. Like I said, I have a whole bunch saved. I didn't know what for, but things always make sense somehow. And I stitched along this paper before I glued it down. And while this paper was loose, I stitched this on, which helped me to place the second measuring tape. And this measuring tape that I have here on the front as my closure came off of one of those round spinny things where you pull them out, you measure, and then you push the center and it retracts back in. So it just seemed to work out. This little piece here, this is actually a little embroidery floss tubing, and it's plastic and metallics. I thought that was pretty neat. This is another one of those fabric flowers that I took apart. A little bit more of that trim that I like. And then on this side, I've got some tags held down, and I'll show you that, or held down by, it's just a Recollections paper clip. And then all my tags are just like I usually do. I pick and source out my favorite stamps that I'm going to use for my mini albums, and then I just go to town. So they're just repetitive in the same color. So I've got a Prima lace stamp. I've got another stamp set that I don't know what it's from, but it says Simply the Best, and it's got a crown. And then I've got this really neat ruler type stamp that I did. More sewing, more trim, and I will be journaling and putting notes on that. And then the inside of my album, I don't know if I have to slide over, but I've got a tag here to put some stuff. I didn't do it exactly like Kathy, but I sewed every single page, and I sewed all of my binding. And I also used a Martha punch. I distressed all of it. Again, you're going to be seeing a lot of these tags within my album. The next page, I actually put this tag loosely, just punched a hole, a little bit more of my leftover zipper that I sewed on the zipper first and then glued it down to the paper. Because when it was the time for embellishing, I wasn't able to put this book back down onto my sewing machine. Just doing that same repetitive stamping. There's nothing on the inside. I'm going to be collecting childhood photos of my mom sewing and some of her projects. Maybe even some of her vintage patterns that she may have for the dresses that she's made. I cut some more of that measuring tape, some more tags held down by another paper clip. I sewed that right onto it. Just simple, fun. Some more lace trim there. And on this page, I put one of those thread spools that I got from that little kit, those emergency kits that you get from the dollar store. And it's held down by this metal, I don't know who I got it from, but it's a kit that I have all these little metal pieces from. And I just added some ribbons and stuff to it. Again, some more tags. Again, they're just stamped. The zipper actually opens and closes. I've had a lot of practice with that, but it's just decorative onto that page. nothing on the inside, and we've made it to the back cover. Again, one of those tags that I keep. This is really thick chipboard, so I thought, what will I use it for? I will use it for this. Again, I'll be tucking in a photo back here, a larger one, and I just kind of made a little slidey spin out collage of tags. And again, another one of those dress tags that I had, and a little metal brad down here just to tie in a little bit of more of that metal. But I love it, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna see if I can gather some photos from some of my relatives as well, just to see how far I can get in this project. So it's a very special project. Just like Kathy said, she was gonna create some pieces that, you know, were a little bit more special than just a mini album on your shelf about, you know, your 4th trip to the cottage. This is a book about my mom, and I love it. I hope that you love it. It did take me a little while. I was practicing my sewing, learning how to thread my machine, all that jazz, but I love it. I'm still gonna add a little bit of stickles to my flowers, but I didn't want to do it right now because I wanted to upload this video so that I could share it with all of you. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope it turns out just as great on camera as it does here. And I will show my mom when I'm finished and I put all the pictures in, and then I'll ask her for permission if I can do it with the photos inside. And you'll see what I mean about her and her ginormous industrial sewing machine and how fabulous she was. So again, thank you, Kathy, for doing these fabulous projects that I love. I'm a little bit slower than all of you. I don't know how you work along with this class, but I only got the lid done, you know, gluing things down, measurements, and but it's a blast. Thank you all for sharing, and thanks for everything. Thanks to my subscribers, and have yourself a great day.